we've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
ESPN just dropped its 2025 rankings for WNBA players, and the results are pretty eye-opening. Caitlin Clark is ranked high. Some could argue maybe not high enough, but still, it's a solid recognition of her talent. On the flip side, Angel Reese? Well, she's not in the top 10. Not even close. She landed at 12th place, and let's be honest, that's still too generous. It's a tough reality check for Reese, who clearly thought of herself as the undisputed queen of the court. She walked around with that "I'm the face of women's basketball" vibe, but ESPN had a different idea. The rankings dropped, and now Reese is dealing with the fallout. She's reacting as if someone took her favorite pair of designer sunglasses, full-on meltdown mode. Is it possible ESPN had her...
So, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see... Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Either way, it's tough to ignore. And if you take a look at the list, it's clear as day, Angel Reese is nowhere to be found among the top-tier players. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is sitting comfortably at second place, unfazed, letting her game do all the talking. It's wild when you think back to just a while ago, when people tried to make it seem like there was a legitimate rivalry.
Moment, if you recall, from 1979, when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
Even brought the commissioner into the conversation, trying to hype it up as a big deal. But here's the thing, the rivalry talk is officially over. The gap between them isn't just noticeable, it's downright embarrassing. Caitlin Clark didn't even have to break a sweat to get ahead, and now she's miles ahead of Reese, who's probably somewhere scrolling through social media, trying to salvage her image. Let's be real for a second, this is a tough pill to swallow for Reese. She had all the hype, the media attention, and the trash talk. She built her brand around being that girl, the game changer. But when the rankings came out and the dust settled, there she was, sitting outside the top 10, clutching what's basically a participation trophy. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark has been quietly handling her business, putting up triple-doubles, breaking records left and right, and completely redefining what it means to be a superstar in sports. No gimmicks, just pure, undeniable talent. When it comes to the top rankings, there's one name that truly stands out, Caitlin Clark. Let's be clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the conversation, she's driving it. The arguments about double-doubles are fine, but let's be real, what's cooler than that? Being the reason people actually tune into games. ESPN has finally acknowledged what we've all known for a while now, Caitlin Clark is the needle that moves the conversation. Her on-the-court history speaks for itself, and her off-the-court impact? Equally impressive. She's not just creating buzz, she's generating real change.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
That undeniable truth. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's fans are out here searching for her name on the list like it's hidden in the fine print. Sorry, but sitting in 12th place isn't quite the superstar status some think it is. It's like showing up to a VIP party, thinking you're the guest of honor, only to be stuck outside while Caitlin Clark is already owning the room. The debate that once tried to place Reese on Caitlin's level? It's over. There's nothing but silence now. For those who still believe Angel Reese is a top-tier player, let's be honest, her skill set just doesn't measure up. She's got energy, an attitude, and yes, she grabs some rebounds, but let's not confuse that with being a dominant force on the court. Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, pulling up from half-court like it's no big deal.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball, great. Nothing else. She has not, she's got self-awareness. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player. That's why she spends so much time half naked and taking pictures and promoting things that have nothing to do with basketball.
If the roles were reversed, if Caitlin Clark were ranked 12th and Angel Reese sat comfortably at number 2, the internet would have exploded. Sports talk shows would dedicate entire segments to it, and Reese's fans would be celebrating like they just won the championship. But now that Reese is ranked lower, all of a sudden rankings don't matter? Funny how that works. Caitlin Clark doesn't need to be number 1 on every list to prove she's the foundation of women's basketball. Her record-breaking performances and packed arenas already say it all. But let's be honest,
if we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won.
Confirmation of what we've all known for a while, Caitlin Clark is the real deal. And as for Angel Reese? She might know it too. The way she plays sometimes suggests she's aware that the ball is better off in someone else's hands, someone who knows how to handle it. For example, there was this one game where she had a clear shot at an easy layup. But instead of taking it, she passed it to a teammate behind her. That kind of decision-making speaks volumes about where she stands in comparison to players like Caitlin. Remember last season when ESPN inexplicably ranked Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark on their rookie list?
And now she knows it to the point that even when she's on the basketball court, she's aware like, this ain't really my thing. Let me get this hot potato out of my hand and to somebody that knows what they're doing with it as soon as possible. You got to see this clip. This is a 3-on-3 basketball game. Angel Reese strips a player at one end, runs down court with the basketball, 3-4 steps ahead of everybody, has an easy layup, and throws it to the girl behind her.
History every time she stepped on the floor. The fact that ESPN even considered that ranking is now almost laughable. And let's not forget, those rankings weren't made by me. So, if you're out there defending your favorite player, remember, the numbers don't lie, and the rankings have caught up with reality. Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball, and anyone trying to pretend otherwise is just ignoring the facts. At the top of the rankings, we have some familiar names, but there's one that stands out, Caitlin Clark.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rickea Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6, Caitlin.
Talent. Meanwhile, Angel Reese has been the subject of a lot of discussion, but let's be honest, it's time for less talk and more action on the court. Sure, Angel Reese grabs a few rebounds here and there, and credit where it's due, but if we're being honest, her game has been inconsistent. While some might be quick to highlight her stats, anyone who's been watching closely knows her performance often falls flat, missed shots, lackluster defense, and an offense that's left wanting. Despite all that, she somehow earned a Rookie of the Year vote, but now, it's clear, the experts are catching on. Caitlin Clark has been rewriting the WNBA history books, casually draining threes from the logo and showing the world what real talent looks like. For the past year, there's been a lot of noise about Angel Reese being on the same level as Caitlin, but the truth is becoming undeniable. Clark is leading her team, breaking records, and bringing fans to their feet. Meanwhile, Reese's game remains painfully average, with numbers that look good on paper but don't hold up when you watch the games. Her offense has been a struggle, her defense is...
Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Her shot selection is often a mystery. It's hard to call her a top contender when she's just not showing up in big moments. Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, is an undeniable force. She's the future of women's basketball. Every time she steps on the court, she elevates the game. Her stats speak for themselves: more points, more fans, more broken records. Whether it's hitting game-winning shots or simply dominating from all areas of the court, Caitlin is proving she's a once-in-a-generation talent. Angel Reese's fans can cry all they want about supposed slights, but let's be real, it's not hate when it's the truth. Caitlin Clark is making history, while Reese struggles to keep pace. The debate over who's better was never really a debate at all. Caitlin Clark has redefined the game, and if you've been paying attention, it's clear she's the one to watch. Now, as for the MVP race, A'ja Wilson may have a few accolades under her belt, but Caitlin Clark is breathing down her neck. With her continued rise, it's only a matter of time before we're talking about Caitlin Clark as the undisputed best player in the league. Would anyone be surprised? Not at all. And let's not forget the Indiana Fever. After a stunning offseason, they've assembled a team that's ready to make a run for the championship. Caitlin Clark has all the tools she needs, and with the Fever stacking their roster, this is a team that's bound to make some serious noise. As we head into the 2025 season, Caitlin Clark is poised to leave her mark on the WNBA, and the rest of the league better take notice. Angel Reese? She's still playing catch-up. The truth is clear, and it's Caitlin Clark leading the charge into the future of women's basketball. The WNBA is in for a major shift, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. The Indiana Fever are stacking their roster with top-tier talent like they're putting together the Avengers, and Caitlin? She's about to go full superhero mode. We're talking MVP caliber numbers, record-breaking threes, and defenders completely baffled on how to guard her. The Fever are looking more dangerous than ever, and the Aces better hope their championship window isn't closing, because Caitlin's arrival has shaken up the entire league. Now, as for Angel Reese, she might want to stop worrying about rankings and start focusing on staying relevant. If this season is any indication, things are only going to get tougher for her. The Fever have been busy building a true contender, and it's clear, Caitlin Clark is the main event. She's the superstar. The one everyone is watching. She keeps getting better, and the numbers back it up: more points, more fans, more broken records, and more eyes glued to the screen every time she steps on the court. At this rate, the only thing she hasn't done yet is sign autographs while scoring 40 points, and that's probably coming soon. Meanwhile, Reese fans were loud last year, trying to argue that she was on the same level as Caitlin. But now? Crickets. Reese is getting overshadowed by Clark's rising star, and it's hard to deny that. Last year, they tried to put them in the same sentence, but now it's more clear than ever: Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and Angel Reese is, well, present. When it comes to MVP talk, Caitlin is undoubtedly in the conversation, and she just keeps elevating her game. On the other hand, Reese's loud talk and flashy moves aren't translating to wins. The hype train left the station a while ago, and Reese is still trying to catch up. The only thing she's consistently good at these days is talking, and while that might grab attention, it doesn't win championships. But here's the thing: Caitlin Clark's impact goes beyond her play on the court. She's setting the tone for what the future of the WNBA looks like, and it's exciting. She's proving that with hard work, dedication, and an undeniable talent, anyone can make a mark in the sports world. At this point, it's clear, Clark is the future of women's basketball. The Fever are on the rise, and it's only a matter of time before they make their championship run. The only question now is who's going to be able to catch up with her? The rise of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA has been nothing short of electrifying. Her talent is undeniable, and with her now on the Indiana Fever, the entire league is buzzing. People are calling the Fever one of the top teams, and many believe they could be contenders for the championship this year.